to read this, but at the same time, it will bother me having 3 hardcovers in 1 paperback. Hello, book friends. My name is Colleen Moore, and this is Cmoore-Books. So we're going book shopping today, but it is a different kind of book shopping because this is used book shopping, but a special type of used book shopping. The local, the county legal services, they do a annual book fair every year, and it is the weekend, and I'm so excited. Last year I was only there for like an hour, and I got like 13 books. I took off today for this. I have bags just in case. So we'll see what kind of damage I can do. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. And this place is packed. It's inside of well, technically this mall is still open, but honestly it really isn't. This is one of the top 10 worst malls in America. You step inside, it's like taking a time warp back to the 1980s. One of the last good things in this mall was the movie theater, and that just left. So, yeah. The one and only good thing happened at this mall. I haven't seen this many cars in this parking lot in like 15, 20 years. That tells you anything about this mall. So, craziness. So I just finished. I honestly have no idea how many books I bought, but I have 3 bags. I came in with 2 cloth bags that I brought with me. And I had to use one of their plastic bags. I ended up collecting a paperback series from my childhood. I got volumes 1 through 23 minus 7 because I couldn't find number 7. But I am quite proud of myself that I was able to find that many. I was looking for those while the line was going down because it was a huge line. So I will share with you my haul once I get home and clean up a bit because there was no air conditioning in there, and I feel like a hot mess. So I'm gonna go home, clean up, eat a little lunch. I'm probably gonna combine this with my May haul. The rest of the books that I bought this month, but I'll start with these. And I'm officially putting myself on a book buying ban until the end of June. Only my pre-orders. No other books. I'm done for a while. I don't know where any other books. I don't even know where these books are gonna go. I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. Okay, yeah. Hello. So I was planning on this next clip being me showing you all the books that I got today, but things got busier today than I planned, and then I ended up having to take my mom to the emergency room. She has a kidney stone. She's okay. She's just in a lot of pain. She will hopefully pass it quickly. But just got home now. It's 1:30 in the morning. But I did want to give you a count of all of the books that I got. I actually just counted them myself. I actually had no idea how many books I got. I got a grand total of 50. Yeah, I brought home 50 books. And do you know how much I spent on 50 books? $85 for 50 books. Got some steals, guys. Some steals. And I'm excited to share those with you once I have the time to film it. So, hopefully that will be sometime tomorrow maybe, or possibly a Sunday. Who knows? We shall see. But hopefully you shall be seeing this book haul soon. Hello, friends. It's been several days. I was originally going to film this on Saturday. That did not happen. I was so exhausted from taking my mom to the emergency room, and then I woke up with a horrible migraine on Sunday. Blessings from heaven. Heavenly Father blessed me, and I was able to teach my lesson for the 3-4-year-old class at church, and then I literally came home and just like died on the couch. So lo and behold, Monday night, here we are after work. So gonna start out with the books from the book sale. There are 50 of those. I'm literally surrounded by books on all sides. Well, actually, no, literally I am, because of my shelves too. But on the bed, I have books on my left and my right. So we're gonna start with the children's picture books from there. I read this at my library. A Jedi Will Be a Jedi by Preeti Chibler, and illustrated by Mike Diaz. I loved this when I read it, and then when I saw it there for $3, I was like, yes, please. Children's picture books are can be incredibly expensive, especially when they're licensed. So I was like, yes, score. And then this one looks so good. The Book Itch, Freedom, Truth, and Harlem's Greatest Bookstore by Vonda Michaud Nelson, and illustrated by R. Gregory Christie. Never heard of it. But just the title, it sounded amazing, so I'm really excited to read this. Oh my goodness, look at those end pages. Like, end papers, like, oh my gosh. Even more excited. Oh, this is a donation from my local library to the sale. So I am excited for that. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the middle grade. I found this out recently, maybe within like the last year. There is a sequel to Holes called Small Steps. It follows Armpit. If you haven't read Holes, that is his nickname. But if you have, you know. So that's literally all I know, is it follows Armpit. And it was 50 cents, so why not? I've heard mixed reviews on this, but I was like, 50 cents, how can I not? And then I saw this little middle grade novelization of Dunstan Checks In, and I was like, I loved that movie as a kid, so I had to get it. And then oh, this is how my book count really jumped. This is really how I got to 50. If you are a early 2000s, like, actually this is more like late 1999, like you were a 90s kid, you will remember the show Two of a Kind. Only lasted for one season, starring Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. They came out with books for this show, and I have one of those in my possession. My sister had a couple of those. Then I saw some in a box and I was like, you know what, the line is really long still. I wonder how many of them I can find. I found 1 through 23 minus number 7. And now I'm the proud owner of them all. And they were all 50 cents a piece. Apparently there are 40 of them. Yeah, I've begun this. This has started. I now feel an obligation to finish. So yeah. First rule, first order of business, find lucky number 7. Because it was not luckiest on Friday. Because, yeah. And I ended up buying the one that I did own. I was hoping I had number 7, but no, I already owned number 5. So I have 2 copies of number 5. But that's fine. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Just look at these like 90s outfits, like early 2000s. The hairstyles alone, like how can you, yeah, it's just amazing. Oh, I remember these, I remember these exact hairstyles, yes. When Ashley was going for the curly and the Mary-Kate was going for the flippy hairstyle. Yes, I was a fan. Clearly, since I bought 22 of their books. 18, 17, 15. Okay. Now they're all back in order. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to the YA that I found. Oh gosh, hold on. The books have decided to try to attack me. Yeah. Okay. Ugh. So first up we have Elsewhere by Gabrielle Zevin. Gabrielle Zevin is quickly becoming one of my new favorite authors. I really enjoyed Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery. I have no idea what this is really about. But I know it was written by Gabrielle Zevin and it's YA. And so here we are. And I bought this one clearly just based on the cover. Like it's super cute. It's called 99 Days. And like the end papers are just adorable. So like that was really why I got this one. I think it's like 99 days of a relationship, maybe? Who knows? But I'm gonna find out. This one was definitely and here's part of the problem. I couldn't look up anything like reviews, anything if I was uncertain, because where the Booksale was, it's, we're gonna use air quotes here, mall. The movie theater just left, and that was like the last thing that was like actually legitimate in that mall. The only thing that's actually really there now is T-Mobile might have left. A Black Rose Antique Mall. That is the most legitimate store in the mall. The rest of them are all closed. Yeah. yeah, it was the title of this one. Me Being Me is exactly as insane as you being you. And so like it's a novel written in lists, and I read a middle grade book in list recently. It's called Annie's Life in Lists. Yeah, by Kristen. Yeah, I can't read what that says. I'm surprised I could read her first name. I bought it after I read it from my library. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Annie's Life in Lists. And her first name is Kristen. I just can't read her second name. It's either Mahoney? Sure, we'll go with that. And then this one is The Higher Girl by Laura Amy Schlitz. And most things in this sale, if it's like a hardcover, or like, this is $3. Most hardcovers $3. Paperbacks are like, if there's like the size, this is $2. Yeah, this is a historical fiction. Like the second I saw that was like Pennsylvania, I was like, sign me up. And so it just sounded really interesting, just the synopsis. And once I saw Pennsylvania, I was like, yeah. And the cover was just beautiful. So yeah, it was a girl trying to like make it on her own. And then I can't remember where I found this one. I found it like later on before. Okay, this one was $2. Cinderella is Dead. Obviously this is Cinderella retelling. So I really love fairy tale retellings, so that's why I was excited to see this one. I've heard good things about this one. And Bridget Kemmerer blurbed it, and I love Bridget Kemmerer. I've pretty much all of her books except for her Elemental series. I haven't had a chance to read any of those. And then Does My Head Look Big in This by Rhonda Abdel Fattah. It's about a girl, she goes to a, so this is set in Melbourne, Australia. She's an Australian Palestinian girl. And so she's decides, she goes to this preppy high school, and she decides to, she goes to a prep school. She decides to start wearing her hijab full time. And I love reading about other people's faith and learning about that, especially through novelizations, and when the author like, this is her, she's an Australian born Muslim Palestinian, and Egyptian. So yeah, so I was really excited to see this one. And then I'm a huge fan of Ruta Sepetys, and I don't own Between Shades of Grey, so I've been slowly collecting her books. So far I just have Add the Easy Salt of the Sea, The Fountains of Silence, and I Must Betray You. Ow, that really hurt. And one of the best finds, this was actually like one of the first books that I picked up. This was $3. The Mistborn 10th anniversary edition. And it's actually in really solid condition. My workbook club is actually reading this this month. I still need to start it. But I was so stoked when I saw this. I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, I'm so excited to start that. Because I've been wanting to read Mistborn for so long. When my coworker picked it, I was like, yes, finally, someone that can give me the shove, like, to read it. So this is a biography about Audie Murphy. He is the most America's most decorated soldier. He fought during World War II. My brother did a report on him in high school, and so that's why I remember his name. And so wanted to learn more about him. Then I got The Woman Who Smashed Codes by Jason Fagone. I have the audiobook for this, but I love learning about amazing women in history, and this is about like spies and espionage, and yeah. I just love the cover. It's so cool. Yeah, and it was only like $3. Like, how can you not? And then I got 3 Malcolm Gladwell novels. An old coworker of mine, I'd never heard of him until she told me about him. That was like 3-4 years ago. Still haven't picked one up, but now I own 3. And they were all $2. So I have David and Goliath, Blink, and The Outliers. So I'm excited to dive into those. So I've heard good things about his books. Oh my gosh. Gosh, that stack is looking like bad things are gonna happen. Okay. And then another one of my new favorite authors is Marie Benedict. I have read this one, The Only Woman in the Room. So she invented something that it ended up developing into like technology, doing something like that, and her husband was a really famous Nazi and not a very good guy, and she was also a famous film star, sort of like her life story and how she ended up where she ended up. And then Lady Clementine is about Winston Churchill's wife. I was really excited for this when I saw it. And I actually saw another one of her books there. I think it's one of her newest ones, The Personal Librarian. I saw it there, but they only had it in paperback. And I have one more of her books on my shelves. It's in hardback. Her Hidden Genius. No, I cannot tell you what it's about because I can't remember. And so 3 of her books that I own would have been hardcover, and then I would have had one paperback. And that would have bothered me to the end of time. Yes, I'm that person. So I gave it to someone else that I noticed was picking up her books. I was like, you take it. I'm like, it will, I want to read this, but at the same time, it will bother me having 3 hardcovers in one paperback. Yes, you can judge me. It's fine. I judge myself all the time. Okay. And then I found, for $2, this bind up of the murder of Roger Ackroyd, and Then There Were None, and 3 novelettes. I really got it for The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, because I don't own a copy of that. I do have And Then There Were None. So yeah. It was just the spine just looked really cool, and it has the decal edges, and clearly this is a really old book, and the way that they use the paper, because it's starting to redden. Or they painted it. I highly doubt it they painted it. And then we have the guest list by Lucy Foley. I know this is, I think it's something like akin to And Then There Were None. So, and I've been wanting to read something by Lucy Foley. And I'm pretty sure this is like $3 too. Oh my gosh. $3.50. The only downside is that. I literally put it everywhere. Like, my gosh, like. Okay. It's not even a well-designed logo either. Okay, you can hate me if you want to, I'm sorry. Okay. And we have the cartographers. Let me see how many other Book of the Month books I ended up with. Just two more. Just two more. If I could, I avoided it. I just really hate the logo. I think it's ugly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion. If you love it, you can. I know it's technically supposed to be someone reading. But like, okay, I'm moving on. Okay. The cartographers. I know that it's about a girl, like her dad was killed over this map, but it looks like an ordinary map. I have heard mixed reviews about this, but like the cover is so cool, and it was like it was $4. But like I just really want to read it, and I'm excited. And then oh, whoa, okay. Apparently I got 3 bookmarks this year. I just donated so much this year. I was capping myself at $50. I spent $85, but hey, I got 50 books for $85. That's a lot of books. And then I got the book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I really enjoyed this when I read it. I listened to the audiobook. Brittany Presley is one of the narrators, and I love Brittany Presley as a narrator. So it's about a true crime blogger, and she's trying to figure out this cold case in her town. Just some really strange things going on. I really enjoyed it. And then the last thing he told me by Laura, is that Laura Dave? Having my doubts. Yeah, it is Laura Dave. Okay. I know this is, I think this is some kind of, yeah, thriller, mystery. I don't know much about it, but I've heard good things, so I'm excited to read it. Reading in the Brain, by Stanislas Dehaney. So the science and evolution of human invention. So it's just sort of like a renowned cognitive neuroscientist, fascinating and highly informative account of the new science of reading. So it would just sound really interesting, like the science behind reading. So, and the cover was just really cool. So it piqued my interest. Then we have the Book of Lost Names by Kristen Harmel. I know this is a World War II historical fiction. I was reading this I was supposed to be reading for this for something, but I never actually followed through. But now I can. I tried listening to the audiobook and it was a no-go. The narrator and I we just didn't jive. There's one I was really excited about, The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I heard about this from Meg with Books, and I have been wanting to read this for a while. I've had the audiobook on hold for a while from my library, and then I just saw it there, like it was just waiting for me. And then the final book from the Booksale is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This will be the second Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I now own. I had Daisy Jones in the 6. I think it's one of the two right here. So yeah, this one is gonna come into play in a reading vlog coming to you sometime in the future. Depends on how fast I read. So now on to the other side. Okay, so for these are all the books that I purchased since my last haul in April. We're not involved in the sale. So the first one is the Taylor Swift biography by A Little Golden Book. I still haven't read it yet, but like, I just love the cover. Like it just the cover. It's the cover of Lover. Like it's just so beautiful. So we're gonna dive right into now the middle grade. There's quite a bit of middle grade, but some of these are like parts of series, so they go together. Like these two. So these two are the second and third books from the Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library series. We read Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library in the fall for my tween book club, and so I saw these for like $4 or $5 at this place called Wonder Book. I'd always wanted to go there. I got like 10 books for $42, and I was a happy woman. And these were 2 of them. And they're like really nice condition too. So yeah, I'm excited to continue along with this series. It's really fun. So it's like this really amazing library that Mr. Lemoncello created, and they're trying to figure out like all these clues and how to escape the library, but like there are rules, like you can't come out the way you came in, and all sorts of different things. And so I guess the second one is Mr. Lemoncello's Library Olympics. So should be interesting. And then this one is Allies by Alan Gratz. I have read a number of his books now. So excited for this one. So this is about how many people during So this is about 4 people during D-Day. So his books, yeah, just the way that he writes things, and I highly recommend Refugee. Oh my goodness, that one's so powerful. Yeah, just the way that he ties the narratives together. Oh, tugs at your heartstrings. So this is Whitebird by R.J. Palacio. This is a wonder story. So this is a graphic novel. This is about Julian's grandmother and her story during World War II. We're going to be reading this for my tween book club. This is one of the 2 books that we're going to be reading this summer. And I did not own a copy of the graphic novel, so I needed to get a copy because I didn't want to take one of the few copies that one of the copies that the library had. No, this is not happening. This is how my throat started feeling less, and I lost it. Okay, and then A Perfect Mistake by Melanie Conklin. I talked about this pretty in depth in my April wrap up. I just decided to buy it finally. It was about a boy who has ADHD. And there's a mystery. Highly recommend it. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I was really excited when I saw this. I have the audiobook. I've had it for a while. I'm actually reading it with my church book club. So it's beautiful, and funnily enough, if you notice something, the Newbery metal stamp, it's upside down. Don't know how that one happened, but we're gonna let it slide. And then I found this at Wonder Book as well. Dragon Rider. It's another series by Cornelia Funk that wrote Inkheart, and I loved Inkheart. I need to continue that series, but like dragons, and the same wonderful writing as the same author's Inkheart, I was sold. So, and I got it for like $1. Like, how can you not take that? So then I got Out of the Dust by Karen Hesse. I think this was set during the Dust Bowl. And I've read a number of other things by Karen Hesse, I think. Maybe not. So, yeah. Won a Newbery medal, so it looked really good. Then I got Hoot by Carl Hyacin. Remember this got made into a film? And I was like, you know what? I haven't read the book. And I only vaguely like saw parts of the film. It had the same kid that was in like the first Percy Jackson adaptation. And then I saw they had one of the Wishbone books, The Adventures of Wishbone, Terrier of the Lost Mines. I have a few Wishbone books, and I was like, I can't not. And then I got Because of Winn-Dixie. I've never read this, and there's a dog involved, so I'm sure there's gonna be crying involved. Because how can there not be? There's a dog involved. Then I got the last, this is one of the free books that my library was giving away. The Last Grand Adventure by Rebecca Behrens. Apparently it's set in the summer of love. It's about her and her grandmother setting off on an adventure together. So, and I love stories involving kids and their grandparents. So this is by the same Dead Wednesday by Jerry Spinelli, the same author that wrote Stargirl. This is also another library pick they were giving away. Same with Replay by Sharon Creech. I read Walk to Moons by her a long time ago, and it looked good. So, and then this is one of my pre-orders, The One and Only Ruby, which is the sequel to The One and Only Ivan and The One and Only Bob. I need to read this like ASAP. I loved all of the books in this middle grade series. So yeah, it's so tender. And then I have some beautiful, move on to my teen books, and all these are like beautiful, pretty editions. I have the Shadow and Bone collector's edition. I got it, oh my gosh, sorry, I just opened it for the first time. I literally set it on my shelf and was like, stay there and look pretty. Book Depository that went out of business. So then I got Six of Crows. And then of course, how can you get Six of Crows without getting Crooked Kingdom? You can't. It would be a crime. And Kaz Brecker would come after me. And then I got The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea from Book Depository. There's no sprayed edges for this one, but the cover is just beautiful, which is why it's in this pile. Yeah, like, not that the US cover isn't pretty, but like, I just love the UK cover so much. And then I jumped on the train. I still haven't read it yet, but I got The Fourth Wing with the beautiful sprayed edges. Like, yeah, I got one of the last 3 copies that my Target had when I heard that like they were all like, the warehouse copies were all gone. I was like, what? I was like, I wasn't planning on jumping on this bandwagon, but I am now. I had serious FOMO happening. So I got some library ones here. No Choir Boy, Murder, Violence, and Teenagers on Death Row. This is a nonfiction. I like to read things about like true stories, and so this sounded like a hard read, but it felt like an important read. So that's why I got it for my library, from the books that were there. And then New Boy, this was set during the 1950s in Virginia. His parents sent him north, and he's the only African-American student at a white school in the 1950s. And so his parents sent him there to avoid the difficulties of segregation in the South. So interested to see how that one is. And this is a book of poetry, The Surrender Tree, poems of Cuba's struggle for freedom. So I love learning things about other countries and their culture, and you can learn a lot through poetry. Your Own Worst Enemy. So this is like about like a student election from what I remember. And remember, it's like a hot mess express. And I was like, you know what? Sign me up. And the cover just looked fun, so I was like, okay, let's do it. This is by Will Walton. I felt a funeral in my brain. The cover, like the name of the book got me, and I was like, you know what? That sounds really interesting. Gosh, so sorry. I'm praying my voice is not going again, because I will literally cry, because it took 10 days for the last time for my voice to come back. And then Okay for Now by Gary D. Schmidt. I have no idea what this is about, but apparently it's set during the Vietnam War time period. But it was a free copy from my library, and I think I've read other things by this author. And then I have the Silence That Binds Us by Joanna Ho. This is about a girl. She is Chinese, a Chinese Taiwanese American, and she's dealing with the sudden death of her brother by suicide. And so it's her family dealing with the aftermath of his death by suicide, and how their race plays into it, because there are racist accusations that are hurled at her family because of his suicide. And it sounded like a powerful, like a difficult but powerful but an important read. And then this was one of the library things. Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. I don't remember anything, but I thought the cover was cute. I'm losing steam. And then Material Girls by Elaine Dimopoulos. This is another library freebie. I think this girl, she started trying to start her own fashion company. So, and I think something happens and she has to go to like court or something. So sounds like it'll be interesting. And then I'm so excited to read this. The Isle of Lost Gods by Amy Kaufman. I love Amy Kaufman's writing, and this one sounded so good. I'm excited for the pre-order stuff that I put in for, and there's gonna be like a live show thing next week. Honestly, I need to read the book by next week, otherwise I can't participate for the full hour. So I know they're like, the first half an hour, non-spoilery, second half an hour, you better leave, otherwise you're gonna get spoiled. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I got the Comfort Book by Matt Haig. I originally got this from my library, and then I just had to buy my own copy. For anyone that is struggling with depression, it has been hitting me especially hard over, I've been dealing with it over the last year. I'm still dealing with it. I have good days and bad days, but like it's written in little like vignettes, but there have been some sections hit me harder than others, and some didn't resonate with me. But I think it depends on where you're at your mental space. So I'm excited to continue with it. I got this at Wonder Book, The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. She wrote Me Before You, the Me Before You series. This is about the Horsepack librarian project. And I have loved The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek and The Bookwoman's Daughter. So I am excited to see Jojo Moyes tackle this. And then this I got based off of Cmoore-Books recommendation, The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels. I got it on Book Depository before they, you know. So it's told in like interview style and like chats and emails, and trying to like discover about this cult and find this child from this cult that they thought was the Antichrist. So it sounded really interesting. And then when I got so sorry, when I got Fourth Wing, it was buy one get one half off at Target. So I also bought Atlas of the Heart, because this book is quite expensive. I listened to the audiobook quite a while ago, but I've been wanting to have my own physical copy, because I know that there are quite a few beautiful illustrations and drawings, art that she talks about in connection with the book. So definitely want to do, when I read this again, be reading and listening at the same time, because Brene Brown's books are so much better when she reads them to you. So yeah, so those are all of the books that I got. So that huge 50 book pile. All I'm gonna put up here, editing me is gonna put up the final total of all of the books that are here, because I know I've done some damage and I have no idea where these all are gonna go. It was a miracle the rest of them fit the last time, when I brought all those up from my basement. So yeah, pray for me, and pray I don't lose my voice again, please. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and remember who you are and where you live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.